Hey everybody, it's John from Seattle Coffee Gear. We're in the commercial kitchen again, and today we're going to be doing a follow-up video on our back flushing video and talking about back flushing or cleaning your steam wands. This does apply to home machines as well as commercial machines. Obviously today we're doing this on a commercial machine. Really, the main things you need are a good sized frothing pitcher and some sort of cleaning liquid. This is kind of an older bottle of Rinsa, but it works the same as long as it's a milk cleaning detergent. You cannot use your coffee detergent like a Cafiza or a PuroCaf to do this because that's designed to break down coffee oils. This stuff is designed to break down milk fat and any built up milk inside the steam wand. A common misconception with doing this is that you're trying to clean out the tip of your steam wand. While that is what this does, that's not really the main purpose of doing this. What you're trying to do is actually keep your valve up here clean. And we'll talk a little bit about the mechanics of what we're doing here after we look at exactly what we're doing. So all of these bottles have some sort of instruction on them for how much liquid you want to use. This one is about 30 milliliters, roughly an ounce of the solution per 500 milliliters of water. So about 1 ounce to 16 ounces roughly is what you're going to be using there. I believe we have an ounce. We've had this bottle for a little while here. So I'll get this prepped and then we'll come back in a second. Now in here I have my solution of hot water and some of this cleaning solution here. I'm going to set this back over here. So what I'm going to do is steam a little bit, maybe 5 seconds on and then 5 seconds off, and then I'm going to come over and purge that out. What that is doing is there's obviously a lot of pressure in this boiler, and when I pull this arm down, it's opening up the valve that's letting out all that steam. When I close that valve off, some of it gets sucked back up into where that valve is. And as you're steaming milk throughout the day, even if you are super vigilant about purging any of that out, which is also why purging is important, milk tends to kind of gum up all throughout your steam wand, which is why it's a good idea to do this nightly, or if you're a busy cafe, it might even make sense to do this twice a day. We'll talk a little bit more about how to know if you need to do more than this later on. So I'm going to turn this on and then shut it off. Make sure that gets up in there. And then at this point, I'm going to bring this over and purge that out. And then I'm going to repeat this. I'm repeating this about 5 times. And a really easy way to think about it is just thinking about it the same way as you would with these. And that's about 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off. And then come over here and purge that out. Around this time, it does start to get a little bit scary because this water is getting pretty hot, so just be careful. I'm going to stop there. What some cafes will do as well is steam this and let this soak. Sometimes you'll hear people talking about milk getting into the boiler and contaminating the water in that boiler permanently. That's really only a danger if your valve up here isn't working properly. So if it's clogged with old milk or if it's just broken or something like that and it's letting stuff get from back here into the boiler, that's when you're going to run into issues. To prevent that, you're just cleaning. That's another reason why it's so important to do these cleaning cycles for both back flushing and your steam wands to just keep this all functioning accurately. One thing that can be a sign that you need something a bit more than just cleaning is if you clean and your milk still tastes kind of rancid or your steam smells kind of funky. If you have a machine, this one does not, that has a sight glass on it that lets you see the water in your boiler. If that's ever getting discolored, you probably need to do some service on your espresso machine. That's about the time you need to call an actual technician out to look at your valves up here, and maybe you need a rebuild. If you notice that your steam pressure is dropping and you've been doing your cleaning, or you think you've been doing your cleaning and that steam pressure is dropping, and your steam tip isn't clogged at all, that might be another sign that you need to service this valve as well. So let's purge the rest of that out. As with this, where we did a water backflush after using the chemical, it's a good idea. After using the chemicals to backflush, it's a good idea to do the same thing you did when you were backflushing the actual groups, where you do it with just water to clear out any of those chemicals. So I'll do that now. So again, I steam for a little bit and then I stop, so the water is all getting sucked up in here and stopping at this valve. And then I'm going to kick all that out and then go again. Again, stopping. So actually I'm boiling my water right now. Be careful of that, please. I'm gonna come back over here, purge that out. Now I'm gonna let this soak. One of the reasons I'm purging into the drip tray is because if I am just purging back into here, anything that I'm kicking out of here, any sort of milk residue or something like that, is just going to go in this water again, and I'm going to be sucking it back up in there, which is not the worst thing. It's better than nothing, but it's still best to purge into the drip tray so you're getting rid of any of that nasty stuff that you're trying to get rid of in the first place. One note on this is, especially around wintertime, if you're doing eggnog lattes or more chais or anything like that, liquids with higher fat content and higher sugar content are typically going to clog this up more. So it's always a good idea to be even more vigilant with your cleaning in times when you're doing drinks that have more sugar, when you're steaming drinks with more sugar or more fat in them. Now that we've talked about what we're doing here, let's talk about a couple other things. One thing, if you've noticed that your steam pressure is dropping, it's always a good idea to first, before you call a tech out, inspect the tips of your steam wand. This one is super duper hot because we just had it running through there. So I'm going to see if I can show you guys this somehow. So on the tip of this steam wand, we have these holes here. If one of these holes gets clogged with milk or anything else, that's going to limit the amount of steam that can come out. So that's often an issue if somebody is complaining that they don't have that much steam pressure or anything like that anymore. It's just these holes are clogged and it's preventing steam from getting out. So that might be an easy fix for you. This is still pretty hot, but we'll see here. They do make brushes that have almost a little needle on the end of them that you can use to kind of poke out some of the holes on this and clear that out. So that's helpful if you need to get some real cleaning in there. This one looks okay because we take pretty good care of this machine here, but that's how you would take care of that there. Well, that pretty much covers milk or steam wand cleaning. I'm going to put this back together. If you're making a lot of lattes at your coffee shop, if you're making a 12-ounce latte, a 16-ounce latte, that drink is mainly milk. And if you have a bad valve up here, or this isn't clean, that's affecting the flavor of this steam, and that's affecting the flavor of your milk and all of the drinks you're serving out the door. Taking care of the steam wand takes a little bit of extra time, but it's going to maximize the life of your machine, minimize your service calls, and also make sure your drinks are the best that they can be. Before we finish here, I want to take off the top of this machine and show you guys the actual valve that I'm talking about to hopefully make it a little bit more real for you, to encourage you to do the best maintenance you can. We'll reset here. This right here is the valve that we're looking at. If you notice, this piece here pushes against that. That's actually opening and closing this valve. So right here, we're coming to the steam wand, and right here is going back to the boiler. So this is releasing the steam when I do that. And we're trying to keep that valve clean when we're cleaning our steam wands. It's a little bit of a visual explanation so you guys can see. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something about machine maintenance and cleaning your steam wands. If you have any questions or comments, or you have a different method that you use for this, leave them down below. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, machine reviews and all that sort of stuff. If you want to talk about getting a new machine for your cafe, or you're thinking about opening up a coffee shop, give us a call. We'd love to talk with you about that and just talk about what it takes and what you might be looking at. Again, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.